Hello, everybody. We want to say a giant welcome to homeschooling. Ha. Okay, unless you're living under a rock, you have probably heard that a vast majority of schools across the nation have been closed down. There's really no rhyme or reason to some of them. Some of them are because there's actually cases in the district of this COVID-19 that is going around. The state of South Dakota has officially closed down all schools for the next week. We are hearing about things for a week, 2 weeks, a month. We even heard last night from a good friend about some schools in the East Valley and the Phoenix area closing down for the rest of the school year. I mean, come on, I gotta say, that seems a little excessive if there's no known cases in their district. I don't know if there is or not, though, so I can't say on that. Either way, though, we have been homeschooling for 13 years now, and I gotta say, we've got a little bit of experience with this. So here it goes. Now, I'm gonna give you a quick rundown on that. Together, we have 7 children. We have an almost 18-year-old who has already graduated. We have a 16-year-old, 15-year-old, 13-year-old, 7-year-old, 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old. So we have run the gambit with this. We know what we're doing. At the same time, I'm going to tell you, we always learn new things because it turns out we still don't know everything, and we never will. Nope. So we're willing to acknowledge that. So here's a quick rundown, my list of tips for temporarily homeschooling your children. And now, these guys, you can take them, you can leave them. If you have any thoughts on them, leave it in the comment section down below. We'd love to hear that. I'm Tony. This is my husband, Sean. How many other introduction things should I do before I forget what we're doing? If you've not watched my channel before, you should check that out. I do a lot of grocery hauls and other stuff, but we have been homeschooling this entire time. Our oldest did start out in public school. We pulled her out in March of her kindergarten year. Yeah. Tells you how good the school district was.
Never something we planned on doing.
No, never. In fact, it was done with 24 hours notice, and I didn't plan on doing it for very long. But here we are, and we love it. We wouldn't trade it for anything, and our kids actually appreciate it too. So, first thing I'm going to suggest to you, take this time to get to know your kids. Okay? I know somebody's going to get offended by that statement, but don't. You cannot know your kids completely. I can tell you, as much time as I spend with our kids, I still don't know them completely. There's things that they tell us on a regular basis that have both of us going, wait, what?
Yeah.
And because they're growing, they're maturing, they have thoughts, they have opinions. So this is a really great opportunity to sit down, ask your kids questions, have conversations with them. Do not be intimidated or scared of the fact that you suddenly have to figure out how to entertain them or what to do. Guess what? Kids are really resilient. I'm also going to tell you, do not resort to screens. It's easy to do. Trust me, even we've fallen into that from time to time. You are not going to get to know anything else about your kids when both of you are behind a screen. So there was step number 1, get to know your kids. Number 2, here's the thing. I am not going to recommend a curriculum to you. Nope, not going to do it. I am not going to tell you what's going to work best or all these websites you should check out. Guys, there are a ton of educational websites if you choose to check them out. But here is the thing. Unless your school is out for the next 6 months, you should not be concerned about what your kids are missing out on. Now, I know some people are going to be like, oh, but they're missing out on the school time. Okay, do your kids get summer breaks? Do they? Because I guarantee you their summer break is longer than 2 to 4 weeks. And unless you're worried about what they're losing educationally in the summer, you have no reason to be worried about 2 to 4 weeks. Now, you can absolutely supplement things. If they were sent home with some work to do, because I know some schools are using virtual programs, which is awesome. Yes, keep up with that. But there is no reason for you to be rushing out and trying to spend a ton of money on a bunch of curriculum to use for a couple of weeks.
No.
It's not.
You can find almost anything on the internet, YouTube or something.
If there's something you want to do, but this is a really great time. Again, getting to know your kids, find out what their interests are and help them learn about that. Not some rote memorization or book learning that they're going to get in school anyhow. If your child has an interest in mechanics, wants to work on cars and stuff, watch some videos with them. Go find something you can take apart.
Yeah.
This is a great opportunity to work on their hobbies and interests in a learning capacity, and it also occupies some time. Now, I'm also going to follow that up by telling you absolutely everything can be educational. So, and guys, I utilize this a lot. We do a lot of documentaries in our house. We have Disney Plus, for example, and I know a lot of people probably have not bothered to check out the National Geographic section in there.
Love it.
There is some amazing series and documentaries that are in there, and they're entertaining. The Lost Cities one, we've enjoyed that. The Gordon Ramsay one.
Yep, both those.
You get to learn
Gordon
about
Ramsay, Uncharted, and then The Lost Cities. They both only have about 6 episodes each, but they're amazingly done.
Yeah.
And you learn so much.
You do, and you get to see some amazing things. All of our kids sat down and were just in awe over the images and the areas and the technology used. The Lost Cities uses this digital imaging stuff to recreate lost cities based on what they have been able to find as far as original walls and things like that, to see what the structures used to stand, where they all used to be. So, guys, there's a lot of stuff like that. Start baking with your kids. Making meals with your kids. Let them learn about proper nutrition, measuring, you know, some of that stuff. Of course, if they're older, they should already know how to measure and that kind of stuff, but let them learn through experience.
Home ed used to be a class.
Home ec.
Home ec, sorry.
You know, let them help with cleaning, because I'm going to tell you this too. Now, I was public schooled the entire way through, and my mom was horrible about teaching us how to clean things. And I don't say that in a derogatory kind of way. What I actually mean is that it was a lot easier for her to just do stuff and get it done. And so there wasn't a whole lot that we personally did other than occasionally sweeping the kitchen or washing the dishes. So as I became an adult, I've come to realize the effort it takes to scrub the edges of a shower, the hard water buildup in the bottom of a dish drainer at the sink, how to clean that. How to clean the underside of the stove. It wasn't until I moved out of my my second apartment, that I found out that the stove top lifted and that there were crumbs and stuff under there. I didn't know that until I was getting dinged for it at the checkout because I hadn't cleaned it. So there's so many different things. Teach your kids those things. It's good. You know, another thing you can take advantage of is nature. I don't know where you live. It doesn't really matter. Go explore your area. Now, if we end up on a full-on quarantine, kind of like Italy has, and you're not going to be able to get out of the house, that could be a different story. But in the meantime, like for us, we can take the kids, we can go hiking.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, other people may have the same idea, but you're still not going to have the same exposure as if you went to Target or Walmart.
Right, yeah, and you're going to be outdoor getting fresh air.
Yeah, go learn about nature. Go enjoy nature. You don't even have to learn anything. Just be present. That's a really big part.
Just a great bonding time with your kids.
Exactly. Now, if your kids are sent home with some virtual work or something like that they're supposed to be working on, this is another great opportunity to spend time with your kids. Sit down and do the work with them. See what they're learning. Do you know what your kids are learning? Could be a good time to find out. And then, guys, here's a final point that I'm going to put on here, and then we'll see if either of us have any other thoughts. This is temporary. That is a really big point to keep in mind, is for the vast majority of the people in this nation who are suddenly finding themselves as homeschoolers that never intended to be, this is temporary, but it doesn't have to be. Take this time to be present, be with your kids, watch them learn and grow, and then, you know, you may be one of those people who are evaluating this going, I never would have thought about it, but it could be worth it.
I get some real enjoyment out of it.
Absolutely. If you're curious about the homeschooling laws to officially start homeschooling in your state, I highly recommend checking out hslda.org. It's the Homeschool Legal Defense Association. They have all of the laws broken down on their website. You can see some of that without being a member. To get the full breakdown of things, you do need to be a member. But you don't have to be unless you choose to homeschool. Even then, you don't have to be. I just strongly recommend it. It legally protects you and stuff. There are some amazing laws in some states, and there's some really strict laws in some states. You just need to know what your limits are and decide if that's something that's going to work for your family. And if you decide that this is truly temporary, you want your kids to go back to school, that is perfectly fine too. At least you've had this experience and you were able to give it your all and say, you know, you're making the choice that's best for you and your family. So that is exactly where that's at. Now, if you have any questions about the curriculum that we use, or if you're truly thinking about extending this to a more permanent situation, even if, not even more permanent, if you just want to try it for a full school year, you know, leave any questions down in the comment section down below. Look forward to another video coming up here in the next week or so. We just got our curriculum in, and I get to open that and share it with all of you guys, and I'm so excited about that. Some of it is full year sets, and some of it is just the supplementals that we need for a couple of the kids. And I am really excited about all of that. Sorry, I'm touching my screen there, so I got things popping up. And yeah, this, you know, don't let it scare you. Oh, and I could go with all of the classic memes that are floating around too. I promise you kids are not going to become socially unsocialized or socially awkward or any of that purely because they've been homeschooled for a few weeks. I promise your children will not suddenly become socially awkward or unsocialized if you decide to homeschool them longer. If your children become socially awkward or unsocialized in this time frame, it's your fault. Or something else is going on, because no child should suddenly become unsocialized or socially awkward. They either already were, or there's something bigger going on. And guys, homeschooling doesn't create unsocialized children. If anything, the vast majority have better socialization skills because they are frequently exposed to all ages of people every day.
Adults, children, you name it.
There's no limit. They're not just in one classroom. And because I'm not saying this to knock public school, but it is not a thing. It is not. In this, now, yes, you will occasionally find some rather odd homeschoolers, but guess what? You will on occasion find some rather odd public schoolers, some rather odd private schoolers. You're going to find odd people no matter where you go. And I don't promise that we're not, but we do our best.
We're just weird.
We're exceptional.
Today is going to be exceptional.
Woohoo! Okay, so, and as you can tell, we have a fun relationship. We like to have fun with life. So there it is. Welcome to homeschooling. Do you have any other thoughts on homeschoolers? And
no, I think you pretty well covered it.
Okay.
Especially if you're going to do a curriculum video at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have any questions, like I said, leave that down in the comment section down below. Or you can go make sure to watch for that video and check that out to see what we use. And if you have any other additional questions after that, feel free to leave it there, here, whichever. And that's that. So I hope you guys enjoy this little journey, whether you wanted it or not. It looks like most of us are on it together right now. And don't be afraid to reach out to your local homeschooling communities, because I know a lot of them are welcoming people with open arms, knowing that this is a tough transition and that this is not what everybody chose, but that this is where we are all at and we are all in this together. So let's do what's all best for our children and make the best of it. Okay? There you go. I hope you guys are having a blessed day. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss everything coming up next. And we'll see you in the next one.